Good morning, students. Uh, this is pathology for BSc Nursing second year, and the section where we are dealing was the cardiovascular system, and the disease which are we going to deal is the atherosclerosis. So, what is atherosclerosis? Atherosclerosis occurs in the intima of large and medium-sized muscular arteries. Coronary atherosclerosis. It is characterized by the intimal lesions called as atheroma. So, intimal lesions called as atheroma or atheromatous or fibroplasty plaques are formed here. That is why fibrofatty plates. That is why it is called as the atherosclerosis. And it is characterized by the intimal lesions formed that protrude and obstructs the vascular lumen. So, vascular lumens of the any tubular structures vessels will be obstructed by the depositions of fibrofatty plaques. So, an atheromatous plaques consist of the raised lesions with soft yellow core lipid. Means there will be yellow core lipid like formation will be there, covered by a firm white fibrous cap, and white fibrous cap will cover it. Here you can see core is formed and white fibrous cap will cover it. Besides obstructing blood flow, atherosclerotic plaques weaken the underlying media and can rupture them by themselves, causing acute catastrophic vessel thrombosis. So, as a whole, we can say that atherosclerosis is the characterized by intimal lesions which are formed as on the valves of the lumen and obstruct it. That fibrous material is called as atheroma or atheromatous fibrofatty plaques. Let's see little history of atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis mainly can be seen in the intima of large and medium-sized muscular arteries. It is seen mainly in the muscular arteries. In small arteries, the atheromas can gradually occlude lumina comprising of blood flow to distal organ and cause the ischemic injury. And in large arteries, the plaques are destructive, encroaching on the media and weakening the affected vessel wall, causing aneurysm. Aneurysm is the disease which will deal at the latter. So, affected vessel wall is there, weakening is there. So, aneurysm will cause. So, moreover, atheromas can be fragile, fragment to emboli, which can occur to travel downstream circulation. Means it will mostly block the lumina and the circulation will be reduced and it will cause the ischemia injury. And in large arteries, that will be destructive and vessel wall will be affected, causing the aneurysm. The symptomatic atherosclerotic disease most often involves the artery supplying the heart, brain, kidneys and lower extremities. And due to atherosclerosis, the MI, cerebral infarction or aortic aneurysm and peripheral vascular disease are occurring. Deposition of fat will cause these disease. Now let's see the etiological factor. The ischemic heart disease will also occur due to the atherosclerosis. So, we'll deal with the etiological factor. It is having etiological factors of three criteria. First one is the major constitutional risk factor, then major acquired risk factor, then minor acquired risk factor. The major constitutional risk factors are age, gender, genetic factor, and familial and racial factors. And the major risk factors are hyperlipidemia, hypertension, smoking, diabetes mellitus. Then the minor risk factors are obesity, oral contraceptives, lack of exercise, and type of a behavior pattern or stress. Then we'll see the pathogenesis, how the disease progresses. There are various theories and hypotheses that prove formation of atheroma. Atheroma, that is a fat fabricated. The most widespread one is modified reaction to injury hypothesis. Means reaction to injury hypothesis is the most modified theory. Let's see what happens in pathogenesis according to injury hypothesis. According to injury hypothesis, in response to this, the atherosclerosis is a chronic inflammatory response of atrial wall, which is initiated by injury to the endothelium and further interaction between the lipoproteins, monocyte-derived macrophages, T lymphocytes, called as cellular constituents or bacterial wall, leading to progression of lesion. Means the atherosclerosis can occur through a chronic inflammatory response of atrial wall. Atrial wall may be inflamed, and if it is inflamed for a long time, which is due to injury of endothelium or any monocyte derived macrophages or T lymphocytes or any bacterial destruction, so that will do the production of lesions, and that will do the productions of fibroplates like fibrofatty plates, that is the atherosclerosis. So we can say that through chronic inflammations will be there, which will lead to the atherosclerosis, to the atrial wall. Then various process of atherogenic process will be there aspects. Let's see what are they. First one is the role of endothelial injury. So endothelial will be there injury, atrial wall endothelial layer will be injured. So it is the initial triggering event in the development of lesions of atherosclerosis. A specific cause of non-denuding endothelial dysfunction can be seen like circulating derivatives of cigarette smoke, homocysteine, various viruses infection, toxins, hemodynamic factors, immune reaction, hypercholesteremia, inflammatory cytokine such as TNF, which stimulate the expression of endothelial genes which promote the atherosclerosis. Initial smooth muscles cell proliferation of initial smooth muscle cells is stimulated by platelet derived growth factor PDGF, fibroblast growth factor, epidermal growth factor, etc. And then there will be intimal proliferation, which will be accompanied by synthesis of matrix protein. Then role of blood monocyte, plasma low density protein LDL on entry in the intima undergo oxidation, which will perform the following functions: oxidize the LDL, attract, proliferate and immobilize, and activate the monocytes, is converted to form lipid-laden foam molecule. Then oxidized LDL is a cytotoxic to the endothelium. Then death of foam cells by apoptosis releases lipid to form lipid core of plaque. Then role of hyperlipidemia and thrombosis. Hyperlipidemia, increased serum concentration of low density lipoprotein, and very low density lipoprotein promotes the formation of foam cells, while the high density lipoprotein has anti-atherogenic effects. Thrombosis, endothelial injury exposed subendothelial connective tissue, which results in formation of small platelet aggregates and proliferation of smooth muscle cells at the site. Means endothelial injury will be there, then it will cause subendothelial connective tissue to be exposed, then formation of small platelet will there, and smooth muscle cells proliferate at that site. So here we can see the various aspects of atherogenic process are: role of endothelial injury, then intima or smooth muscle cells proliferation, then role of blood monocytes, in which the low density protein and high density protein will then the role of hyperlipidemia, then thrombosis. What are the pathological changes which will occur? The pathological changes is very important. There are various morphological forms of atherosclerosis which are basically involved from the simple basic lesion to complicated one described as below. First will be the fatty streak. These are harmless and are the precursor lesion of erythematous plague. So, fatty streak will form, mainly predominant in aorta and major arteries and usually seen in the posterior wall. This is the image of fatty streaks will be formed. Here we can see. So what will happen? These are mainly predominant in aorta and major arteries and posterior wall, means arterial wall will be affected. Firstly, lesions will appear yellowish, may be flat, slightly yellow and elongated. Then microscopically formed of a close packed foam cells, lipids containing elongated smooth muscle cells and few lymphocyte cells. Then gelatinous lesion, then erythematous plaque will be there. Erythematous plaque, the lesions develop from the progression of above stated lesion, that is the gelatinous lesion. Gelatinous lesion, which are round or oval lesion, will cause the erythematous plaque. So here what will happen? Grossly white to yellow white lesions 1 to 2 cm in diameter with red surface cut section shows the luminous surface and white fibrous cap and a central core composed of yellow to yellowish white porridge-like material. Then microscopically superficial luminal part of fibrous cap is covered by endothelium, which is composed of smooth muscle cells, dense connective tissue, extracellular matrix containing proteoglycans and collagen. Cellular area under the fibrous cap are composed of macrophages, foam cells, lymphocytes, and smooth muscle cells and lipid. And deeper core consists of extracellular lipid material, cholesterol, fibrin, necrotic, and fibrin-laden, lipid-laden foam cells. So, erythematous plaques which will be found in coronary artery are here. Yellowish will be there in the appearance. Microscopically, we have seen what will happen. Microscopically, superficial luminal part of the fibrous cap is covered with the endothelium, which is composed of smooth muscles. The fibrous cap will be a luminal part of the superficial layer will be covered with fibrous cap by endothelium layer, and then there will be smooth muscle cells will be there, dense connective tissue and extracellular matrix will also be there. Then cellular area under the fibrous cap is composed of macrophages, foam cells, lymphocytes, smooth muscle cells and lipid. In deeper core will have extracellular material, cholesterol, fibrin and necrotic debris and lipid-laden foam cells. Here you can see lipid-laden foam cells, cholesterol, then apoptotic bodies are there. Thrombosis formation will be there, peptide formation will be there, fibrous cap will rupture. Now we will see the pathophysiology of the atherosclerosis. How the atherosclerosis occurs? Risk factors like age, gender, genital factors, familial or racial factors, hyperlipidemia, hypertension, smoking, diabetes mellitus, obesity, oral contraceptives, lack of exercise, all these things which I have told only in the major risk factors, then minor acquired risk factors, major acquired risk factors. So, these all risk factors will lead to hypercholesterolemia, means that will cause the injury to the atrial wall and will lead to the cholesterol deposition, and there will be formation of fatty plaques then that will block the that will call blockage of the vascular pathway valve. So lumen of the that will become thickened. So decreased blood flow will be there. Then accumulation of plaques will be there. Firstly formation, then decreased blood flow and accumulation of plaques will be there. Then decreased blood flow to the myocardium, and then myocardium will get weakened due to decreased perfusion, and it will cause ischemia. Then heart function will be decreased and signs and symptoms will appear. Then necrosis, decreased heart and function, so signs and symptoms will be like tiring, cardiac overload, weakness. Then necrosis will occur and the signs and symptoms will occur like problems in breathing, less pumping of heart, then heart failure will be there. So let's see again what happened. The pathophysiology of the atherosclerosis is firstly the risk factor like age, gender, genetic factor, familial risk factor. All these things will lead to the hypercholesteremia, means deposition of cholesterol or formation of fatty plaques. Then this will decrease the blood flow. Then accumulation of plaques will be there. Then decreased blood flow will be there again to the myocardium and it will cause the decreased perfusion. Then it will lead to ischemia. Ischemia will cause the decreased heart function, that will cause the necrosis. Then signs and symptoms of necrosis will appear. Then necrosis, heart function decreased, signs and symptoms. Then necrosis will have signs and symptoms, and that will cause the heart failure. Means as a whole we can say that the atherosclerosis mostly leads to the heart failure only. Now let's see some of the images of atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis may involve the peripheral arteries also, particularly the leg, starting from the iliac arteries and extending to the femoral, popliteal and lower leg arteries. Means it can involve the arteries like lumen. It will affect the lumen of the arteries which are starting from the leg, iliac arteries and extending to the femoral, popliteal and lower leg arteries. Shown here with the CT, computed tomography angiography, is an occlusion of the right popliteal artery. There is runoff into the collateral arterial branch. Complications include reduced exercise tolerance, pain, ischemic changes that can culminate in the gangrenous necrosis. The ankle brachial index ABI can document the peripheral vascular disease and is measured with a manual blood pressure cuff and a Doppler ultrasound device. With Doppler ultrasound device, the systolic arterial occlusion pressure is measured. The first at the level of the brachial artery in the arm, then at the level of the ankle. ABI in the ratio of ankle occlusion pressure to the brachial artery occlusion pressure. The ABI should be normally 1.0 and ABI should be below 0.85 is consistent with the disease. You can see the valve lumen and fatty plates are deposited here. The coronary artery shown here, narrowing of its lumen. Lumen is being narrowed due to buildup of atherosclerotic plates. These are the atherosclerotic plates appearing pinkish in color. Several coronary arterial narrowing can lead to angina, ischemia, infarction, depending on the severity and chronicity of the occlusion. All the disease like myocardial infarction, then angina pectoris, ischemia, all the disease are due to the atherosclerosis only. The plate shown is complicated by calcification here. If calcification occurs, then this will be more complicated. Smooth muscle cells, apoptosis or macrophages. Apoptosis may lead to development of small calcification, microcalcification, which can coalesce into larger calcium deposit within the atheromatous plate. Here you can see that the atheroma is there. So If smooth muscles is there, it is occurring inside the smooth muscles of heart. So because of that, the calcification can occur. This is the same section, but here the fat is more. This section of coronary artery demonstrates the remote thrombosis with recanalization to leave only two small narrow channels. Here only two small narrow channels are left, so that the recanalization can occur. It's a severe degree of narrowing. Fats have been deposited. There is a severe degree of narrowing in its coronary artery. It is complex in that there is a large area of calcification on the lower right, which appears bluish on the H&E stain. Complex atheroma have calcification, thrombosis or hemorrhage. Such calcification would make coronary angiography difficult. It is a complexive atheroma, so due to the presence of smooth muscle, calcification will occur, thrombosis will occur, or hemorrhage can also occur. Such calcification can make the coronary angioplasty very difficult. This is a diagnostic test to be done. This is also the same section of the heart, coronary artery, and blocked by the atherofibrous fatty plate. The distal portion of coronary artery shows the significant narrowing. Such distal involvement is seen in severe coronary atherosclerosis, such as can appear like diabetes mellitus or familial hypocholesterolemia. This can lead to make a coronary bypass operation difficult. Here, when the coronary artery is having the more deposition of cholesterol or fat, atheromatous fibrous plaques, so it will make coronary bypass surgery very difficult because it is a severe coronary atherosclerosis, and severe narrowing have been shown here. It can be seen in diabetes mellitus. So we can say diabetes mellitus may also cause the heart problem. There is a pink to red recent thrombosis in this narrowed coronary artery. The open needle-like space in the erythematous plaques are cholesterol clefts. These are the cholesterol clefts, needle-like, and the pink to red appearance which is there, that's this one. This one is the thrombosis, which is narrowing the coronary artery. This is the highly magnified atheroma. Highly magnification of atheroma shows numerous foam cells and an occasional cholesterol cleft. A few dark blue inflammatory cells, lymphocytes. These are the lymphocytes, dark blue lymphocytes you can see. Shows numerous foam cells and occasional cholesterol cleft. A few dark blue inflammatory cell lymphocytes are scattered within the atheroma. These are the atheroma, in this the few dark blue cells are scattered. These are the lymphocytes. Increasing accumulation of foam cells, so they are having foam cells. If they occur in the atheroma, they can lead to predisposed to a development of necrotic core, so it will cause necrosis. Then they will be again enhanced by plaque hemorrhage. Large necrotic cores often have thin overlying fibrous cap prone to rupture. Plaque rupture can lead to thrombosis and can lead to endothelial erosion. So up to here the chapter is finished, means the disease is finished. The next disease I will discuss in the next chapter, next video. Thank you, class.